Okay, guys, don't do anything. Don't do anything. I got to get, there's people that got to, now there it comes. She's not letting me do that now. I'm going to give people time. They've got two people. I'm going to give people time to actually chime in here and talk. And I'll be back. There's 4 people now. I'll be back. That thing's way too big for here. A lot of you, no, I had to go pick something up, but that's not a bad idea. I usually, I wanted to get some water too, but I didn't. A lot of you guys, and I'll ask Jeff here in a minute, but a lot of you guys are asking, because you do see me swing this. A lot of you guys are asking about, this is something that's old. This is something that actually, was the first, this is the first run on the wig popper. I love this bat. What happened is I kind of thought a couple of bats were going to get here in time for Vegas. So I was scrambling around to try to get, I love going into a tournament and I love performing at my top level. And the way that I can do that is if I go and get a bat that I love and has that flex in that barrel that I love, and that has that weight distributions that I love. So already this bat, I loved it from the get-go. It was my gamer whenever I was swinging it. And then what I'm doing right now is we have a tournament. I leave tomorrow morning to play in a tournament, and I want to be ready for the tournament. And then I go to Vegas and play. So I will be in Vegas. I will be with another bat in Vegas, not this one, because the bats there we're going to talk about here in a minute. I'm pretty sure we are. That's what I'm looking for. So when we talk about the movement, what we want to do is get you guys on board. Where it's kind of like this. It's kind of like what I like doing. I like getting a bat. Yeah, that's what this is actually. I have 3 of them, and they're in my bag out there waiting because we leave in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to Denver. It's an SSUSA tournament, and there's going to be a lot of good teams out there. One of my old team will be there actually in the tournament. I want to do a lot of videos, maybe get a hold of somebody. Oh, cut it out, McWilliams. Oh, they already told me to take it. It's already packed. Trey already told me to take it. So it's already packed. And then I have another one I want you to maybe swing and look at. I got to bring it back, though, because we're still hitting it. I want you to swing the Jaeger Bomber. No, excuse me. You are going to swing the Jaeger Bomber. But I want you to swing Quit It. I want you to swing the Brewtown, because I think your bat speed will go great with that Brewtown. The one Murray is swinging right now. So what I do is I'm swinging this bat to get ready for a tournament. You know, I don't care if it's 2 years old. I love the bat. I love the way it performs. I love the flex points. And if you guys look, I'm trying to get those numbers down, and I have dates on here, right? So I'm trying to get those numbers down to what I like. I like getting. Like I said, I just checked it a while ago because I hit it yesterday. It's at 190. Now, if I get up to Denver and if I hit tomorrow night and if I hit on Friday morning, I'll bring that number down to 180. That's where I wanted it. I wanted it at 180. One thing about this wig popper, it will get there at 180 and it will stay there for a long time. So until this bat starts to, it gets all those separations in the paint. You know, you guys seen that it does the whole barrel, gets all that separation in the paint, and then it I give it, I haven't had one crack. I've actually given them to a lot of the seniors. Like, I'm taking 3 up there. There's one that's at 160. I think that's too cushy for me, so I'll probably get it to one of the 70-year-old guys or 65-year-old guys that are there, and let them swing it, because they'll get better performance out of it than I would, because they have that slow bat speed. I'm not saying better performance. I'm saying they would hit it better because they're going to be able to compress that ball. My bat speed is to a point where if I torque on it too much, I'll actually implode it, especially if I square it up. If a 50 or 60 mile an hour guy actually squares it up, he's going to get better performance on it than I would. Now, if I cut it, because I'm a cutter, if I cut this bat, and on this bat 160, I can hit it a mile. Problem is, I don't cut them all the time, so I don't want to take that chance. So I'll keep my compression level pretty high, not high like Clem high. He was here a minute ago, but not that high. Where there, that's when we're talking about the movement. You know, a lot of the 50, 60, a lot of the women. That's another thing too. You women out there that actually has chimed in. I see Sarah on here, Cox. A lot of the women out there that are hitting, we're going to change your world about softball. A lot of you ladies are going to get interested a lot better now, because you're not going to swing a man's bat anymore. You're going to swing a bat that has a softer barrel, the design that's going to have a softer barrel that better fits your bat speed. And Cherry Bomb, I think I seen it in here a minute ago. Cherry Bomb. Stacy Carr, her and her girls will have some of those cherry bombs to swing. And basically, Short Porch has a theory, because they're all nerds and they're engineers and stuff, so they have a theory on something. And what better to test that theory and putting their ass on the line and saying, hey, we think this would benefit the ladies, or the 50 mile an hour guys, the 60 mile an hour guys. Because there's going to come a day, guys, where those bats that you're swinging, I see you swinging them, those bats you're swinging are just not going to, they're going to get too old or wore out. What I'm saying is, on those bats that you guys have, you know, and I see a lot of OGs out there because of that softness on the barrel, what's going to happen to those bats is they're going to just turn to dust. And then what I'm saying that is because the temperature you guys keep those in, cold, hot, you know, and just put them in the house, keep them in the trunk of your car, in the bed of your truck. That is the worst thing you can do with any bat out there, because I actually would love to bring Leslie on here and talk about polymers and different stuff like that. The Soda Pop is a badass bat. And then we might talk about why, I would like to talk to Jeff about why you don't see any of the old wig poppers. Like, this was such a good bat. Why didn't you guys stay with this bat? Well, this is me talking. Different technology, better performing. So there's wig poppers out there that there's wig poppers out there that actually perform better. The wig popper that's coming out pretty quick here is a softer barrel bat. So that's what I hope he gets on here and talks about. But the one thing that, if you guys know about Jeff, he's like that dad. He's like that dad. Let me finish here, man. He's like that dad at Christmas that doesn't tell you what the present is before actually Christmas morning comes around. So he's that guy. So he doesn't really talk that much about it. So we're talking about the wig popper, the new wig popper that is coming a little bit about that bat. So how you
Man,
doing?
I'm doing great, just hanging out here at the office. You know, with us, we work in, 12 different time zones, it seems like. So we're always working. And, that's why I said if you wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about the Vegas, and I was really going to drill you on your tournament coming up, but you kind of already talked all about
Yeah.
that already.
And,
Um,
and basically what I wanted to do, and I'll do a lot of videotaping up there, a lot of talking to people, because a lot of people already know I'm going to be there and they're going to show up. But I want to try to do Facebook Live on Saturday with somebody. Maybe I can grab a hold of one of my teammates, or maybe because Crush will be there. So one of those guys maybe come over and just do a little bit of talking, but mainly get some video out of just us that are going to be there, because I love Denver. I was actually a guy. A lot of guys don't know this, but my ex-wife was stationed at Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So I was playing tournaments in Denver, and the ball does fly there. So I always loved
yeah,
hitting there in Denver. Aurora too, I think, is where we're at.
yeah. I was just about to ask that. I've never hit in Colorado. Vegas, I've never seen the ball fly like it does in Vegas anywhere I've been. I'm sure Denver is
A little better.
even more exaggerated, right?
Oh yeah, Denver is better, I think. Your batting average goes up 30 points, 25 points at the end of a tournament or per year if you're actually playing there. And the one thing, believe it or not, people that play in Denver, when they leave the state to go play, they are better at longevity, better at playing, because of the oxygen.
Yeah, I
So
can see that. Yeah,
yeah, because I don't know if you know this or not, though, but a lot of training facilities for the Olympics is in Denver, Colorado Springs, because they have them training up there, because their lung capacity. Guarantee you what, it took me 3 months to get acclimated to the oxygen levels that are in the air, I guess. Like I could not run, and I was in great shape when I went there. It was 1995. I was in great shape. I was 35 years old, and dude, I was gasping for air, just gasping for air. But when I started flying out and playing tournaments, I found out that my stamina was higher and my oxygen was more. Like I can suck in more oxygen and increase my energy levels. I thought that was pretty good. And a lot of people train in Denver,
yeah.
actually.
It kind of makes sense, right? And I think for sure probably the air is just cleaner in general, I would think, than some of these cities. I don't know how much time you spent or if you've been in Atlanta, Georgia, but the air quality is so bad you can't even see some mornings.
I've been
It's just
to some
more of a smog.
I've been to some towns that actually are like that, where you're right, it's more like a smog out there, and just the pollution is believe it or not, in Los Angeles, I was there, and I think that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta is not Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta. I played a lot in Georgia through my career of playing, but I liked it there. I didn't think I loved the country. I didn't think it was that bad. I've loved everywhere that I traveled throughout the United States and playing softball. But I love doing that though. I mean, I love meeting people. Even right now with this job, starting next year, going into tournaments and talking to people. That's my dream job right there, and just
Yeah.
spreading
Yeah,
the knowledge.
that's something we're gonna, you'll definitely be doing a lot more of is going around to different corners of the country and talking to people, and that's a lot of fun for you. I'm glad it is, because we're already stretched thin, and it's hard for us to get everywhere, obviously, and it's kind of all starting right here with you going to Denver and then to Vegas. And I know we've been talking about going into the villages in Florida. I'm sure we'll have
I
you
didn't
there.
bring that up yet. I didn't bring that up yet, but we want to talk. You want to talk about that? I've talked to so many people about the villages in Florida, and we were talking about stuff we want to do there, for next year,
Hmm.
and then getting a lot of the guys together and going there and hanging out. I was talking to Jerry Stotts, if he might come on here too. Guy I played with for years, and he was in San Antonio, and he was stationed at an Air Force base here, and he retired, and he was either going to go up North Texas, maybe New Braunfels area, closer to Austin, in the hill country, maybe more toward the hill country area, but he decided on the villages there. And I was at a Florida tournament, and he told me they are crazy about softball. Not only softball, but pickleball and tennis and all that other stuff that they do there. And he was telling me how crazy they are about softball, and everybody does their driving around in the golf carts and stuff like that. I mean, he loves
Well,
it. I think it's
I,
awesome.
I will say this, the Villages is one of, if not the number one city we send bats to that buy short porch bats. And it's been like that since the beginning. But Ricky Seals, that's on the Bluegrass bat, great guy. He's got some connections in there. He's already reached out to us about it. And we've been kind of knocking around when we were going to do it behind Vegas and bring you out and go in there and do like a some sort of demo day or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, I guess you should say. I think that's really cool. And Todd with Phantom Sports has got the demo day and Vero tomorrow or Friday
Yeah, I
night,
saw that.
and Christian's going down and Todd always Todd has a big following of his own. Phantom Sports obviously has a big following in senior softball,
Yeah.
and does a great job educating players in all facets of the game, not just bats, but they do a wide range of products and do a good job helping senior players, get through tournaments as they need to.
The one thing that I like about what we're doing is, like I told at the beginning, I don't know if you heard from the beginning, but I said we've been working 24/7 since I've actually joined, and just brainstorming not only the new stuff that's coming out this year, or you're already working on stuff for next year, and
That's right.
and all these ideas that you're talking about, some of them you probably won't even do, but some of these things you're talking about that we're going to bring to the table for senior softball and U-Trip, and ASA out there in the future. So I called you on a Sunday. No, I texted you on a Sunday, and it was just a question I wanted to ask you or talk about. And then we were on group text, and you said, "Look at Dave working on a Sunday." You gotta love this guy.
That's right.
Yeah, and
For us, we work pretty much 7 days a week. We just rest when our bodies make us.
yeah,
So we're either at the ball field playing, or we're here working, or on the road just at a tournament promoting the stuff. So when it comes to actually taking time off, it's kind of just a few days here, a few days there when we have to reset. And you know how it is. Sometimes your body just makes you reset. But yeah, we're around the clock. Really just, it's been a huge push for Vegas, for all the things we plan to accomplish in Vegas, and getting ready for it. And it's been so exciting just pulling it all together. And now that it's done, man, I'll tell you, I just can't wait, and I know our whole team just kind of can't wait till it kind of all unfolds over the next few weeks.
See, we were talking about that this morning. Me and Jeff got on a Zoom call this morning. We're talking about it, and basically talking about what's going to go on before Vegas, and that's the part where that's the part where what I like about everything, because you're so anal on having everything in order before we get there. And what is the what are we going to do on each day? Now, this is what we're going to be doing this day. This is where you're going to go this day, or hook up with Todd, Cox,
Right.
and just where you can better utilize for the people on either talking to you and or just getting the word out, getting the movement, talk about the movement out there. That's what I like. I like that because, okay, I played with Crush. And if any of you guys don't know who John Roach is from Crush, the one thing I really enjoyed about playing with that good team, and they were a good team for years, and I played for 10, we knew everything that we were doing every tournament that we played. We knew what time we were getting there, who was taking a rental car, who wasn't taking a rental car, phone numbers for everybody. You know, what time we're playing, what time we're hitting VP. I like that with that team, and I think a lot of the bigger teams out there do that. I'm just saying that's always awesome. And then being a part of this, you're doing the same thing. Like, okay, we're not even in Vegas, and you're telling everybody, okay, this is where we're staying. This is where you're going to be. You know, this is what we're going to have there. We have this bat coming in, and I don't know if you want to talk about the bats, but we have this bat coming in. What a lot of people are talking to me about is why, you know, like they're telling me, why are you swinging the older bats? Like I was talking about this bat for when I got to get ready for Vegas. And it's not Vegas, but I will have a different bat in Vegas, but I want to get ready for Denver with this bat. And the deal about it is we don't want to throw everything out there. There's steps that we want to take, right, when we're doing this. And you talked to me about this earlier. I'm just reiterating what you actually talked to me about. We're not going to get out there and just throw everything on people. We're going to talk about what is coming. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about.
It's going to be wild because it's going to be about a 40 or 45 day period of on the senior side, because we, you know, the senior guys have been like, you know, what's going on with all the U-Trip, with shortstop U-Trip? Well, we put a lot of stuff into a lot of thought into Vegas and how we wanted to approach this time of year, and we're going to do basically a 40 to 45 day of just information with Short Porch, different bats coming in, a lot of different models. I mean, you're talking, you know, 8 different models will be launched. I will say that between now and the end of Vegas, and it's going to be a lot of cool stuff. And it's just been, you know, kind of well thought out, and it's just how we deliver it and get it all the information out to the players. And you know, here we are. It's about go time, and we're super excited about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. When we're talking this morning, I was like, I think all the times that we talk on conversations, it's never a 10 or 15 minute conversation. It's an hour and a half. Or I think I talked to Christian for 2 hours one day, and just I enjoy that, and I try to keep you on there as long as possible because I do want to gain knowledge on what's coming out, or what, you know, what you have, you know, that you've already been working on before I came aboard, and that's going to be here. There is a bat coming out in a couple of weeks that actually is part of our collab.
That's right.
And we can talk about that later.
We can, yeah, we will. Let's not forget, you know, in Vegas, and you know, I'll throw it out there. The reason you're swinging the wig popper now is we're dropping Dave Velasquez signature in Vegas, and we're waiting on that. So, and we're super excited about it, and that's about me and you obviously put a lot of time and effort in, and it's gonna, you know, it's all going to happen right there, you know, right there at the front of Vegas. And, you know, how fitting is it for you in one of your first tournaments since joining Short Porch that you swing the OG wig popper is kind of how we met and got to know each other for the first time very well, was right after the release of the wig popper, which is a bat you love. So it is very fitting that you swing it before you switch over to your signature bat, if you ask me.
Definitely. And the one thing I want to talk to a lot of people about here, and you've already talked to me about this, is there will be our bats. There will be my bat too. That will be in Vegas. Plus, they will be on your website too.
That's right.
And then, so you don't have to go to Vegas to purchase these bats. You don't have to go to Vegas to purchase my bat. You can actually pick that, you know, bat up off your website, Short Porch website, and order it that way. We do have another shipment dropping in Vegas too, right? So
that's right.
We don't. because
So, well, what we'll do is, we'll have some delivered out there while we're there, and obviously we're going to take we're going to take a lot of bats with us, initially, and but yeah, we'll be pushing them from our warehouse here in Savannah, as well as have them for everybody in Vegas. But the thing about Vegas is they'll be basically able with, we won't have hit tracks there, but we will be able to fit you for a bat. We will have a tee set up. We'll have radar. We'll have Christian there. We'll have you there. I'll be there. We're going to have Clem there, some Trey Roberts. I know Roberto Manayo is having his bat comes out again for Vegas, and he'll be by the tent some. So there'll be a lot of people there to help customers out and put them in the right bat in the short porch line, which will be extensive in Vegas,
yeah.
So.
How many bats we're going to have their new bats in Vegas when everybody shows up? That's another thing too. I want to talk to everybody that will be in Vegas about the new line. I think you said 7 or 8.
So some of them are relaunches. There's 8 of them, but the Bluegrass, the Ricky Sills Bluegrass is a relaunch. The Jaeger Bomb is a relaunch, and then we will have the Baby Blue Wig Popper that is our most popular bat. It's shocking we don't have any left because of the mass production we put that bat through this year. And it's just been so popular that is just flying off the shelves everywhere. You can't find them anywhere in the country right now. And but we will have the five new bat models, all starting with the launch of the second anniversary Wig Popper, which is mine and yours first collab on a bat that is an incredible bat, by the way, that I'm super excited about.
And that's gonna have a little softer barrel.
Oh yeah, definitely have a solid barrel. That's a bat you will be able, for most anybody, you will be able to grab in Vegas, pull it out the wrapper, and go to work with it right there. If you need a bat to game in Vegas, it will be there and be available. There won't be a lot of guys who have to put a ton of swings on that to go play with it. Maybe the older guys, maybe a few, but it's there. It is definitely the most game ready bat we put in the market to date, I would say.
So basically, we'll have a bat for everybody because you're going to have that high bat speed with the Brewtown. That'll be it. Manaya's bat's a bat speed, a high bat speed too. I would imagine.
Yeah, it's
quick.
It's a medium, kind of a medium to a higher, for your major type player.
Well, basically, when I was doing the reviews, we never in that high bat speed. There wasn't really. There was only like about 3 or 4 bats out there that I would consider high bat speeds, and they weren't short porch. So you're right; they would be in that medium high bat speed. Right there. I just want to make sure, guys, when we talk about high bat speed, it's not what senior softball bat reviews used to have. These actually are softer than those bats right there. So yeah, definitely
for sure. And the Bluegrass, obviously, it's. I would argue that somebody on the medium to low to medium to high could both swing the Bluegrass bat. According to how many swings you put on it.
I agree.
So
I can swing that Bluegrass really good. I mean,
yeah, and there's some we have some monster guys swinging it. I'm talking swinging 28 and a halves. And Craig Upton swings that bat. He hits it extremely hard. He doesn't bust them. They hold up well. A lot of that has to do with the finish on that bat, as you've seen.
I was just going to bring that up. Whenever I started swinging that bat, the ball for a cutter did something different. So I got on the phone, and this is whenever I was senior softball bat reviews. So I got on the phone with Jeff. I said, "What did you do? You did something with the texture of the paint that made it where it grabbed the ball and it just stayed in the air a lot longer." And yeah, definitely Adam was talking about great sound. Well, I think that has a lot to do with what you did to the paint on that bat too, because that bat does make a very good sound.
You know, and what was funny is, we look at, the actual, how thick the paint has to be. And we kind of weren't happy with making that bat, using that paint. And, we had to manipulate it several times to get it where we wanted. And, I'll tell you, when we were finished with it, it not only looked good, it performed great too.
I agree,
So,
100%.
because if you get the paint too thick, you're toast. So.
What I was talking to somebody the other day about, what a lot of the old bats that aren't coming back, and there are a few old bats that aren't going to come back, but maybe might do an anniversary. The Gray Wig Popper, which was a good bat. I thought it was a very good bat. That actually is Trey Roberts' gamer right now. Is the Gray Wig Popper. I think that bat, Trey really loves it, and he actually cried because whenever he found out about it. So he went out and started buying a few of them too, because he just really loved that bat. But here's the deal: at this time of the year, is you have new stuff coming out that will take the place of that one, that are just as good or better. And this is one thing I've always said about short porches: they don't repaint stuff. And what happens with Jeff is he finds something. What happens with your crew there, when they find something that is better than that one, because you do a lot of testing on all these bats, you go in that direction, and you leave the other bat like, okay, we got something better than that, guys, just swing this one. You'll find out that it's a lot better than this one, and that's what it does.
Well, whether it's, school or a new job, or whether you take up a new hobby, who jumps into something and doesn't improve? When anybody played softball the first few years, 98, 99% of people, you're going to improve playing. It's no different here. We're not that old of company. So to think we wouldn't improve and take steps to improve, that's natural, and it should be natural to anybody who's a newer type company. So we're moving in a direction to get where we want to be, but by all accounts, we're not there yet. Where we are, incomparable to maybe other companies, we don't know, we don't follow them, we don't swing their bats. I couldn't tell you anything about them. Good, even to a fault. And I know, having you've swung all the bats, you can give me insight to maybe some things we do wrong, or would do wrong in the future. So that really helps. But, for us, we don't touch, nobody's stuff. So we have to make our own mistakes. We have to learn to walk by ourselves. We don't have nobody to teach us. So obviously we're going to improve little by little. There's no way you just, you're not perfect to start, no matter what you do, in life. It's just not that way. So we're gaining a lot of knowledge every day, and putting it into next year's products. And these products that are all hitting the market coming up is an improvement from where we were, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I like, is you're not selling with throwing something out there and then repainting it and call it something different. I've never seen a short porch that actually did that. I'll honestly tell you that right now. And I like what we're doing in that direction, because you're always looking to improve on something that was already good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's right. And nothing, we've made a lot of great bats that people love, and nothing against the older bats. And we did even talk about doing a retro series at some point, and maybe bringing in, obviously the OG Wig Popper and maybe two other popular bats back in small runs at some point, just for the people who love them so much. Like the Autism Big Daddy, we had a lot of guys that really loved that bat, that were kind of on the higher bat speed end, and it was a good bat for that, and much like the Brewtown, and the OG Wig Popper, of course, and then maybe maybe one other bat. I'm not sure what that would be, like the lunchbox, and and just doing something like that for 1 month for a series. I don't know, but it is something we have talked about doing in the past.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I think that'd be awesome. Clem started swinging that hangman that Christian sent him the other day, and uh, he loves it. I mean, it actually uh, it surprised me, but then again, it's a 28 ounce, and Clem was swinging it. I have not swung it because it blow my back up, because of the mask. Got an
well,
18.
we only had a few 28s left, but Christian gamered that bat, and we thought it was a very underrated bat. And not because it should be well light. We're not saying it should be well light or the easiest bat to hit. We thought it was really underrated in how performance with durability. We thought it was one of the best performance with durability we had ever seen because it was so hot yet so durable, and yet that's what all the market had wanted. That's what they talk about with the OG Dudleys. Well, this was the bat from Short Porch that was crazy hot, that got 1,000 swings, and yet it gained traction at first, and then kind of fell off. Mainly, a lot of people was like the handle has a little too much flex. Well, the flex held performance and durability is what was going on with it,
Yeah.
and it didn't gain traction like those OGs or whatever, but it did a lot of this. It had a lot of similarities when it come to ball performance and durability. I'll say
Yeah.
that. No, not easy to hit. That's what it missed, and because that's a bat you have to swing and only swing that bat to get used to it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You were talking earlier about hit tracks that you have, and
Mm-hmm.
what I like what you're doing uh, lately is you're posting a lot of video with hit tracks. I think, and just looking at numbers from the bats that actually Short Porch actually produces, and I think that's something. Transparency, like we talked about this too, and when I came aboard, what I wanted to actually talk about was being more transparent up to a point. And I know you guys like holding the reins a little bit back with me, and I understand it now, but not giving you too much information. For 15 years, I've been talking too much about bats, but the transparency of, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing it at. And I think with seniors out there with the knowledge, and I talked about this in the last podcast, with seniors out there with the knowledge actually love that shit. They love to know, how did you develop this and what did you get? What was your exit velo on this bat? And what people don't understand is the balls that you use are in that hit tracks is the same ball that all the time when you're doing it. You're not
Yeah,
interchanging balls.
and we hit the exact same ball. I will say they've been in there probably too long now, so it's about time to flip them out. And but they're just 44 375 regulation balls that have been in there. So we hit all the bats with the same balls to get the same numbers, and it's the only way to do it. Unless we're testing balls and then we go in there and hit all the different balls. That's a whole different test. But yeah, we put all the bats through the same balls, and I mean, yeah, I guess people have watched a little bit of Leslie's Facebook Live when some people have stopped by Short Porch when they were in the area. One of those guys was Alan and Abdul, and they actually had some business here in town, and I think Alan may have called a little bit of stuff about being at Short Porch because he's with Chef hitting on the bat reviews, but he actually had some work here to do in town and stopped by, and I'm sure he would do that for any bat company. I would
Yeah.
hope.
But here's the deal, and I talked a little bit about my membership channel about that same situation. If I had that when I first started, because that wasn't even thought of when I first started, but if I had that when I first started, I'd have visited all those areas to get better
Yeah.
knowledge for information to all the seniors out there. So all these people that give him flack on that aren't looking at the positive side on it. He's gaining knowledge to better help you guys out. So he
Yeah,
could go
and
to
then
another company, and I would never say, well, he's in there with, no, he's not in there with them. He's gaining knowledge. I wanted, back in the day, I wanted to go to places where they built bats, you know, and actually
for sure,
videotape them building bats and see, hey, this is how it's made or whatever.
for
You know,
sure.
Mike had that a long time ago. I wanted to go there. I wanted to go to their facility, but because I wanted to better service my job. I wanted to get very educated in what I was doing. So basically, these guys go there to get educated, right? Because they want to be top quality reviewers out there, and they get talked about, you know. And hell, there's we talked about this. There's haters out there, and you know we're going to do us, and you know let them do them, and don't give a shit, and let them do
You
what
know,
they
I mean, to us, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're a coach or a player or a review guy. It's about helping the game, especially in the senior side. We've been really close to for a long time now. And I say a long time. It's been a long time for us because we wasn't around, you know, near as long as you. But over the last few years, the whole time we've been doing this, and it matters to us. So we want to help, you know, help people and anybody who's a coach, even coach, they usually played some. And if you show me a review guy, he's going to be a player, and he's going to want to get in and get fitted for a bat and see what, you know. At the very least, you can find out what compression number you need to be your optimal distance and spin rates and these kind of things. Where else are you going to find that out?
yeah.
So that can help you also, and you know we go through things like you know what you weigh and how tall you are, and if you have a chance to come by and you're serious about playing softball, man, stop in. You know the guys here, you know they can help you out. You know I might can't personally, but they can help you out. They can give you knowledge not just about a short porch bat, but maybe it'll help you pick a bat even if it's with another company, you know.
Definitely.
So yeah, for the future, and that's you know that's what softball should be about is about helping one another, you know.
But it's funny because in today's day and age, when you're trying to help somebody, they always think that you're trying to work an angle, and they always
Yeah, you
before
know,
knowing before knowing anything, they always spew trash out, you know. And I was talking the other day about the same thing with the phone call that I got on Saturday morning is, you know, build a better product. I mean, if you're, don't trash the other people because they're looking ahead in the future and developing different tech, right? Because that's the
yeah,
one thing that I tell everybody, the reason I joined, because of the tech that I love. And I've always loved, even when I was a kid, about softball. I always loved the tech, the new stuff that was coming out. I was that bat guy where everything that came out brand new, I would buy it, you know, and then if I didn't like it, I'd turn around and sell it and then buy the next new thing that came out, you know. So the people that were putting out product, I had all these bats at the house, you know, and then finally, you know, I started gaining knowledge on it. I started cutting bats open, started seeing how they were built and how they were weighed and doing weight distribution. We're talking about 40 years ago that I was doing
yeah,
all this stuff. So
you know, and that's always the kind of stuff I was interested in, and listening to guys, and you know, obviously, you know, back in the day, you know, I played a lot of ball. I just laid off for 20 years, so I didn't just accidentally get into the bats. You know, I had a lot of knowledge and about the forefront of composites and composite bats coming out, but this is you know, just the whole thing in general is let's help the players. You know, let's give them knowledge, and I want everybody to know that you'll be there, and you'll be there. You know, showing the handle weights, the barrel weights. You know, talking about MOIs and all these things. We'll be there helping all the players and showing them in Vegas, hey, that, you know, these are the bats we have. Let's get a bat for you. You know, that's the
definitely.
thing.
And like I want to make sure everybody knows this stuff, because when I came around, you talked to me about this too. And he goes, Dave, I don't understand, because we're not talking about we're the best bat company out there. there are several, and you mentioned their names. There are several bat companies out there that actually have very good product. We're going to do us. We're not going to trash them. That's another thing too. We don't get up here and trash other bat companies. We don't care. We're, like Christian said, we're too busy to talk or look at what they're doing because
I,
we're looking 5 months ahead, 4 months ahead at the beginning of next year. So what if you're not thinking about what you're doing and you're too busy worrying about them, you already lost.
yeah, that's right. Right. I I wouldn't know things unless, somebody on my staff didn't mention it to me. Obviously, I'm the key one on the ground with everything with the materials that have to be manufactured and some things like sales or anything that goes on social media. I don't get to see, and I don't get to do a lot of the fun stuff, to be honest. I don't get to do all the fun stuff. Maybe you and or Christian Cage may get to do out there, or all the people involved with us. I'm kind of doing the boring stuff that makes it kind of behind the scenes, and that's okay though. That's
Yeah.
I, it, it's about getting ready for next year. And I promise you, I won't be doing much of that stuff, obviously, in Vegas. And heck, we're staying in the house together for a month, so
I
we're
know.
going to be roomies for a month.
Yeah, but
That's going
think
to be awesome.
about it because Christian said this the other day. We're going to be picking each other's brain for that whole month in
Yeah,
Vegas,
that's right.
in the house. So it's not going to, and I know the wives are going to get mad, like my wife especially is going to get mad because I'll be talking about something I've been talking to her about for years to the point where she just said, don't talk to me about it anymore. She doesn't do it anymore. She doesn't play it anymore. So I now I can vent or talk to you guys about the stuff that you're developing and where are we at, I don't know if you want to talk about you've been getting a lot of information on that Kevlar bat too. Uh,
Well, yeah, thanks, Dave. So,
but
obviously,
I've been asking.
yeah, thanks, Dave. So, we're getting a lot of calls on the Kevlar bat. Um, a lot of our product lines that you will see in the future will be Kevlar based products. Not all of them, but a good bit of them. And you can expect to see, the first set of Kevlar senior bats come out sometime between November and probably January, mid-January,
So
I'm sure. And
it's just not going to be one Kevlar bat. It's going to be
yeah,
few
it's going to
bats
be
that.
a few on the senior side, and then our fast pitch and our ASA bats are Kevlar also, USA ASA.
Yeah,
For next season also, we've engineered a wide range of Kevlar stuff. Some of it's still in I guess the infant stages
yeah,
where I'm still working on it, and there's some other problems that I won't get into with some of the models, but I will say the senior bat, and I know a lot of people watch you are senior, the senior Kevlar bat, it was close. It wasn't right, but it was close, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. It was
mm,
close, but look at the way it performed. It being that close, and just because I know these questions are going to come up, you're going to develop a balanced Kevlar and an end loaded
and
Kevlar.
low Kevlar,
Yeah,
that's right.
because
And
there's guys out
and,
there.
and I know more more than anything right now, we've been tweaking the material more so than the bat. But I know once we got the material where we were all happy with it, we went to actually kind of what you, I guess, in elementary terms, people would call building a bat, or which is weighting and things like this.
Yeah,
And I know me and you made some adjustments there, and man, it's been fun, and it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. So
yeah.
people should stay tuned for that one in the future for sure. Mm.
What makes it going to be good is because the way we were talking when we were done, making those little tuning, call it
Yeah,
tuning. When we tuned it at the end, like we couldn't stop laughing about, not laughing about it, but we couldn't stop talking about it because of what we did. So
Yeah,
I can't wait for that. Like people are asking me, are you going to have them in Vegas? Now we cannot promise them in Vegas, but what you're trying to get is like 2 or 3 of them for people just to look at that are will
yeah, and
be in Vegas.
that's right.
But that's not definite. That's something that we're going to try to shoot for. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it'll be November.
Yeah, and obviously, we got a lot of great stuff coming out in Vegas with some incredible materials of its own, and very different type stuff, and it's going to be really good. And I mean, I think
But
everybody's just super excited about the lady senior bat that's coming out.
oh
That is
yeah,
going to be really cool, also.
yeah. I think all the products that you have, and one thing I like about it, it fits a lot of different bat speeds out there for a lot of different people. And going forward, because we're not talking about them a lot, but going forward, and the reason we're not talking about them is because we have a schedule on what we're going to talk about leading up to Vegas.
Yeah,
So we don't,
and that's right.
like we talked about, throwing everything out there on everybody. We want to kind of separate a little bit where we talk about, educate a lot of you guys on, okay, this is the bat that's coming out, and just focus on that one model of bat, and then put it out there. And then a couple of days later, or a day later, we'll talk about another bat. A couple of days later, but we'll constantly have video all the way through Vegas, not only for the people that are coming up, or the people that are staying at home and not going to Vegas, because there's a lot of seniors out there that just go to Vegas, and that'll be information for you guys. But that'll all be done the week before Vegas and during Vegas, when I can download all those videos that I've already done before we got there. And then we're going to have, that's another thing too, is demo day
That's right.
in Vegas, where we're going to pick a day. You said it was the 16th at
I believe
12.
it was the 16th we were looking at, right? Was it a
Yeah,
Monday? I don't have it
it was
right
a
here in front of
Monday.
me. I think it was a Monday.
It was a
Yeah.
Monday.
And
On that 16th, and throw a lot of bats out there for everybody to come by and swing, and just come by there and talk too. Because the one thing that I realized doing those, because I've done them in the past before, is a lot of people will show up just to swing the new stuff and gain knowledge, to actually talk about the new stuff, because they want to be informed. Yes, at Big League Dreams, um, and just swing the new stuff. And a lot of people, a lot of guys out there are bat whores. They like picking up new product, and then and then watch them swing. That's another thing too. And watch them swing and say, hey, grab this one. I think, because watching your swing, I think, and I do this with my guys. New guys that show up, I'll have bats here in front of me, and I'll like, okay, no, use this one, and this is why I think you should use that one. So that's what I want to do doing this, is because same way I treat my guys down here is, I've had a couple of guys show up in the last 3 weeks that just come out and hit with us, and and they'll be swinging, and they'll pick a bat and they'll say, well, I don't, there's something different. I'll say, okay, this is the reason why, and I'll actually give them a bat that I think would fit their bat speed, or if they're a taller guy, leverage. You gotta equate all of that into nowadays, right? Because this is stuff that's new that
yeah,
we're
let me
trying
tell you,
to.
and I think we touched on this one time before, but height is one of the largest factors that are. It's really arm reach, but most people of height will have similar arm reach, and it's a huge factor in what in a bat fitting, and what bat you should swing. And I think that's not talked about enough. And you'll see us doing a lot of that, whether it's in here if people's dropping by, or in Vegas. Obviously there's 800,000 senior players. I guess how many would be in Vegas? There's 600 teams, according to how many, 650 teams last year was in Vegas. So I don't know how many is going to be there this year. I don't think they won't release that till maybe in the next few weeks. They will, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So according to how many players. So yeah, there'll definitely be all the videos coming out that I know you'll be handling, and we'll be shipping daily from our warehouse. getting these bats out, because there'll be people getting ready for U-Trip Worlds and, some of Matt's tournaments coming up, and they'll be able to grab a bat off our website. And, I think everybody knows if they order it Monday through Friday from Short Porch, it goes out same day,
Yeah.
so.
So, and all those guys out there that aren't showing up to Vegas, we're going to be doing Facebook Live quite a bit. We're going to be doing it in a tent, and they're going to be listed when we're doing it, and on that Prism app that I have. So it's going to be going out to YouTube and Facebook. But basically, we're going to be doing that demo day on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and we'll be doing it there. That way, information basically, and people can listen and pick up little things that we're talking about, especially when we're going to do it. So you don't have to be there. So don't think you're going to be left out because you're not there. I will bring you there, and I will set up Facebook Live at the managers meeting, and then I will do Facebook Live. I'll do Facebook Live in the tent, and then I want to do, like, either on a Saturday night, maybe grab some players. Like we talked about this, you brought it
Yeah,
up.
definitely, we'll be talking to David Ireland, who you just had on, Brandon Murray, one of the greatest guys in softball, as a person and a player, one of the most powerful hitters, and a guy who you'll love to talk to just about working out, because the guy is he's a gym rat and a power lifter. So we're gonna have Ron Yeager in town for the 50s, and Roberto Manaya. Man, you want to talk about a great guy and a former MLB player, who has a signature bat coming out from Vegas also, who I consider a good friend, and again, another really great person that everybody loves. He'll be talking about his bat, which will be a two-piece. And everybody's been asking, hey, when's the next really good two-piece coming out from Short Porch? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be the Mania signature coming out.
Yeah.
So, and Mania is dying to get his hands on it, and he'll be showcasing it in Vegas also.
Good. So we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah, we got a lot of work, but it's going to be fun. Like I said, you guys get to have all the fun. I think this is a time where, for me, I get to get away from all the boring stuff that I do, and I get to get out there and talk to people about the products. And I mean, we're going to be. I know last year we Facebook Live some of the '90s game. Well, if I hadn't heard whether they're doing that again this year. If they have the '90s game again this year at Big League's Dream, we will Facebook Live the '90s game. Leslie will,
Yeah.
And which was, I tell you, that was the greatest thing I've seen in senior softball to date, is watching some of that '90s game there last year. So SSUSA did a tremendous job with that. Fran McDowell, Terry Hennessy, putting together that '90s game is just it's badass.
And I think there was some law enforcement games going on there too during that 2-3 weeks that we were there. I know somebody that was in it, but military, law enforcement, military games going on there too, not only with that too. So what we want to do is try to get a lot of that stuff on video, like either you or Leslie can actually set that up. I do want to do a lot of games from there too. So I'll be taking up about 3 or 4, not 4, probably 3 iPhones, and just setting them up at parks and just doing some video where we can get a lot of people actually on YouTube or Facebook or something like that. A lot of people like watching games, man. I mean, especially when you're going live, a lot of people, because they're not there, can experience it for themselves.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. We want to show, we're not, of course, this is what we do, and it is business, but it is a great experience. People need to remember that this is a recreational sport, that everybody does it because they love it. And I talk to guys every day, senior guys, and they're so passionate about the game of softball and can't wait to play their next tournament. And if they're going to Vegas, they're super excited. So, let's remember that is, everybody does it because of their passion for the game, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Anything else?
No, man, you get to it. Thanks for everything, Dave, as always. It's going to be a crazy few weeks, so everybody just stay tuned and we'll, hey, kick ass in Denver, by the way,
Oh, we're
man.
going to try, man. We're taking a pretty good team up there, 55 major, and they've got a big bracket. They got some good teams in that bracket that we're going to be up there. I don't know how much playing time I'm going to get. This is actually like a vacation, a little small vacation. My
Yeah,
first
yeah,
out of the
yeah,
state of Texas. I get to talk to a lot of people, spread the word, maybe do some pinch hitting, and definitely a
yeah,
little
for
bit of
sure.
coaching with Chino, because Chino's the guy, and I might help him out a little bit. But basically, I'm there to back people up. Basically, what I'm there to do.
Yeah, heck
Uh,
yeah.
Next year, when I turn 65, it's going to be a different story. But I like the phone call a while ago this morning, actually about 4 or 5 hours ago, when you're saying get prepared, because Vegas is going to be awesome.
Oh
You
man,
know.
it's going to be incredible. The whole, not just Vegas, the week leading up to Vegas and everything is just it's exciting times for Short Porch with senior softball, and man, we're getting amped up for it. So just everybody needs to buckle up and and just kind of keep up with Short Porch over the next month and. It's going to be a lot of exciting stuff happening, and obviously you're a big part of that, and we, we'll see how it all shakes out when it's all over. But
Yeah,
I know we'll meet a lot of new friends and make a lot of new contacts
that's
out
what it's
there.
all that right there. That's what it's all about,
Yeah,
right there. Is meeting a
and
lot of new
I
friends.
will say last year the carryover from Leslie and I and Christian being in Vegas and the contacts we made, not just in the U.S. but in Maui and Hawaii. Well, Hawaii is obviously the U.S., but even some people from overseas who came in from Italy and places like that. It carried over. It carried over for months, and people calling us and their teams wanting to switch over, swing some shortboard stuff, and it was really good to kind of carry them contacts on for several months after we left. So I know we'll be doing a lot of that, and then just meeting teams and talking to them and trying to get them in some shortboard spats if we can, right? So
Definitely, that's what
so
it's all about. Get them some good product.
yeah, definitely, man. You have a good night, Dave. Thank you for everything. I'll be talking to you when you get back from Denver, and tell Trey, man, he better hit 700. We're gonna give him hell.
Oh, he'll hit higher than that. Trey's pretty good out there. So yeah,
Yeah.
he'll hit higher than that, especially lately. He's been on a mission lately. So I've got a lot of good video coming up on Trey. But hey, thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. See you.
All right, buddy. Take
Bye.
care. There you go. I'm excited, guys. I mean, y'all guys don't have a. I mean, y'all don't know what I know. So all that stuff, we're not talking about it yet. Well, we will talk about it. Like I was talking to him about, what we're talking about is Jeff about is we're gonna get you guys well informed before when this new product starts coming out, and it will be out before Vegas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this Terra, this new product out before it comes in, and let you know, like, there you go. Tara was talking. Um, I she plays ladies softball, and we have a couple of bats coming out that I want her to swing. Because I really do think she'd enjoy them. Um, uh, I think the direction with having women uh, and involved a lot more. I think we're going forward. We're going to bring a lot more women to it, because they're going to be fitted with a bat that has, more flex in the barrel, and they're actually get great performance on it. So it's going to change the world, in my opinion. And this is just me speculating on what on the theory that we have, on the formula that we have. Is this going to change the way they want to play ball, because they're not hitting they're not hitting a man's bat anymore. It's actually made specifically for them. It's going to be designed totally different for them. So on that cherry bomb that's coming out, guys, just wait. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but just wait. I'm not going to hype up stuff. I'm going to wait and give it to you. You guys like it. You like it. The design, the formula that's being put into it, is going to help a lot of ladies out there. I wouldn't mind trying it because I do a lot of slap hitting when I play. So I wouldn't even mind trying it and put it in my arsenal of bats that I like swinging. And then test it. This is what I enjoy, testing the compression, testing numbers and all different stuff like that. Just making sure, you know, that you guys are well informed. But going forward from here on out, transparency, basically what I want. Guys, if you have, another thing too, if you guys, I love what you're doing right now, sending me little clips of just people out there just are haters and start talking about hate. I tell you what, I will not hate on any bat company out there right now, and I don't think I ever have in the past. I'm not going to compare our bats to all the old bats that used to be OGs. They're great bats out there, and they're great. They're great bats out there. There are great bat companies out there. We don't want to do that. We don't want to sit there and talk about your bat sucks or this bat sucks. There's a lot of people out there that do that. That's just not the way we are. We're going to develop something here, formulas, something here that we think will catch on. And in the future, a lot of people, not only in senior softball, U-trip ball too, and then you get into fast pitch too. And somebody asked me about the weight distribution numbers. Yes, those are things that people are thinking about. Yes, definitely us doing us, and that's it. And if we're thinking that, like we said that too, if we're thinking about other companies and what they're doing, we're already behind because we're thinking about them and not putting any energy into thinking about what they're doing. All of our energy 24/7, 7 days a week is talking about bats. Christian and me talked about bats this morning. And that's the guy I need to try to avoid when I go to Vegas because I know how he is and he's going to want to talk and talk and talk. And, you know, as long as he buys me dinner one night or something, we can do that. But guys, thanks for watching. I think it was a great podcast tonight. And I'll be doing this every Wednesday, especially when it comes to Vegas. I'll be doing more. Stay tuned, guys. Got a lot of good shit coming out. Thanks.